If you're watching this, chances are you're awake and understand the state of the union. So enough bad news. I'd like to announce that we're not asking for our country back, we're taking it back, and here's how. But before I get into the plan, first a little bit about myself. I'm a veteran and served on a CIA Special Projects submarine, and later in my career taught engineers from General Dynamics and the Naval Academy how to operate nuclear reactors. I then spent 10 years and delved deeper into history than anyone is concerned to look, and wrote a 10-volume canon of work describing how the world really works behind the scenes. I had just created a 501c3 nonprofit to make a website called thehistoryinstitute.org. The website will give access to all that knowledge for free or next to nothing. But recently, I was derailed from my project when I heard the words at the heart of the solution, and it's called the Countermand Amendment. Let me read that part to you now. It should strike a chord with you immediately. The amendment is simple. It fits on one page. It has 8 sections to it, most of them a sentence or two long. The following is in Section 2. The state legislatures in the several states shall have the authority to countermand or rescind any congressional statute, judicial decision, executive order, treaty, government agency's ruling, or any other government or non-government mandate, including excessive spending and credit. Now, up to this point, the author of Countermand, who is a 73-year-old lawyer, a good Christian man, has spent his life trying to get this in front of legislators, literally sleeping in his car at truck stops, going from state capitol to state capitol. The good news is that the dozens of state reps each year that he has a chance to sit down with for 20 minutes or so absolutely love Countermand and end up asking, why isn't this in place already? The bad news is that there are close to 7,400 state legislatures in the state capitals. He has never been able to gain enough momentum to move Countermand forward. Look, these people are extremely busy professionals and are pulled in a million different directions, all of it screaming out to be a priority to them. So they forget about Countermand in a few months after the meeting. People, I have never been involved in anything political. I hate politics. I can't even stand listening to a conversation about party politics. But I have stopped my life and my work. I began spending 16 hours a day, 7 days a week on Countermand since I first heard about it the first week in May. I honestly believe this is the first nonviolent solution to our problems that can actually work. I immediately put a plan together called the Governor's Hope Project, and I am executing it. I have been compiling all the contact info for the 7,400 state legislators from their web pages. I have already emailed, faxed, and called over 400 plus top leaders in all the capitals, from the governors down to minority leaders. Folks, we all love what this nation was built upon. The founding fathers and the framers of the Constitution built our country, creating the states with sovereign authority. Then the states created the federal government with limited powers. It wasn't the other way around. With Countermand in place, there will be a return to state sovereignty. The last check and balance will exist with the people through the state legislators and will have the power over the federal government. We can finally begin to untangle the rat's nest of encroachments that have been put upon us. The states will finally become respected partners in government, not subject to federal mandates. There is also an enforcement section that allows the states to prosecute, under state laws, intentional violators of any of the amendment's provisions in the absence of a federal prosecution after 90 days. All right, so for example, when 30 states agree that the budget put forth by Congress isn't acceptable, that we the people will not accept them burying the nation and our children's future further into another $1 trillion of debt, the people through their state legislatures can countermand it. Congress will have to redo the budget. Or let's say we no longer want foreign corporations and nations to be able to donate money to our political campaigns and politicians. That decision by the Supreme Court can be countermanded. Anything that is important to you, from Jade Helm 15 to social issues like Roe versus Wade. All it will take is 30 states to repeal these things. Once done, the agency or body it originated from is denied further enforcement authority immediately. It will only then have 2 options: to rewrite it, knowing that the states can countermand that too, or abandon it, and that's it. But listen, countermand needs to happen immediately. Look, the establishment hasn't spent the past 100 years building the bureaucracy and system they have in place, and now on the eve of finishing their New World Order, they're not just going to sit back and allow the people through the state legislatures to unravel it all. They're going to stop at nothing to kill this effort as soon as they find out it has a chance of succeeding. People, the timing is critical. I believe we can get this done immediately. I'm hoping if there is a large enough group of Americans who still care across this nation, that this could get done as soon as mid-September and at the latest before the holidays, before Thanksgiving. But I need help. I can't make 7,400 phone calls myself. Plus there's aides and assistants to navigate through to try to get to speak to the reps, and that's the hard part. But if you decide to help, once you finally get a chance to speak to a representative, the number one goal is to get them to attend your state's pre-scheduled 40-minute teleconference about Counterman, scheduled in August. Next is to inform them that a state resident, you want them to make Counterman law and want them to bring it up for an immediate vote. And last, you tell them you want them to demand from their elected leadership and governor to call an emergency session to vote on Counterman immediately. If you tell me you truly care and want to help, you must be tenacious and not give up until you get through to these reps. Leaving messages with assistance is not enough. The reps need to hear these messages directly from the state residents. I'll share whatever contact I've got. I'll give you 50 reps and their contact info. I'm going to continue emailing and faxing all 7,400 state legislators a request to attend the teleconferences in August and a copy of the Counterman Amendment. Get your friends, family, and everyone you know out of state to also help out. We need hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to take these calls prior to August 20th. Please help me. Please email me and give me your name, state, phone, and email if you want to help drive Counterman immediately into law. At jjl@governorshope.org. May God bless us all on this quest. Thank you for your time.